Alright everyone, I am in Carlsbad, New Mexico. It's a medium-sized city in the southeast corner of the state. It's about 10 a.m. On a Thursday, end of November 29th, I think. It's a little bit cool this morning. It's in the 30s right now, 37 degrees. It was in the 20s earlier. It was in the 70s yesterday. But the reason for that extreme difference in temperatures is because Carlsbad is in the desert. The Chihuahuan Desert, to be exact. That is the largest desert in North America. You may not know this, but Carlsbad is an actual oasis. The city is situated along the Pecos River. And so you drive through miles of sandy terrain and scrub. You arrive in Carlsbad and lots of trees and green. It's real nice. I am on, I think this is called Carlsbad Lake. It's a little wide spot on the Pecos that they have developed here. It's quite lovely. It's really nice. Anyway, of course, like I said, it's on the Pecos River. The famous, notorious Pecos River. You may have heard of Judge Roy Bean in history. He dispensed his particular brand of law in the late 1800s. He's the one who famously said, "I am the only law west of the Pecos." Well, that's the river I'm talking about. That's where Carlsbad is. Now, there's a lot to do here. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. I'm going to look at a few things here. But just wanted to show you this area of town. Very popular area, especially when it's warmer in the summer. And they've done a great job. It's real nice. Give you another look over here. The spillway. And there are a few things to see here, so I'm going to begin by showing you those. See, my mouth is kind of a little bit chilly. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to show you quite a few things here, so let's get started. Alright everyone, I am walking along the Pecos River right now. It's quite beautiful here. The water is really clear. I'm not sure if the camera is capturing that, but it's yeah, like bathwater clear. But anyway, I'm approaching the Pecos River flume. Now, this was built in the late 1800s to divert water from this river, and it would divert it this way across this viaduct into the farmland over here. And what makes this particular one unique is that this is the only place in the world where a river flows over itself. It's been in Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's been in the Guinness Book of World Records. And wait, there's more. It was originally made of wood, but it kept blowing away. So in 1903 they built it out of concrete. And when it was built, at the time, it was the largest concrete structure in the world. Now, it's been passed up many times, of course, but that is an interesting piece of history. And surprisingly, this is not on the National Register, which I don't get. It should be. But we'll talk about that kind of stuff later as it relates to Carlsbad. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure that you can climb up there, so I'm going to do that right now. Okay, I'm at the top of the flume now. Give you a good look at it. I was just down there on the Pecos, which you see here. They got a nice park developed along it. Really nice. Anyway, you turn around here and you see the diverted river right here. I've got it blocked off because they don't really use it, the water, for agriculture anymore. There is a newer part of the flume. It looks like it's been added on later, or was added on later. Looks like teenagers have had some time up here with spray cans. But anyway, there's the flume itself, the original. There's still some water here. Yeah, and if you look in the distance, I'll zoom in, you can see where the diverted water goes. Of course, to farms, etc., for agriculture. Yeah. Pretty cool. Alright, so yeah, that'll be it for here. I'm going to head into downtown, and we will talk about the town when I get there. Okay, so I am in downtown Carlsbad now. There's a square here where the Eddy County Courthouse is. I'm thinking this is probably the heart of downtown. It's a cool building. It's Pueblo architecture. You see that a lot here in New Mexico, especially Santa Fe. If you ever go to Santa Fe, New Mexico, almost all buildings look like this. But anyway, I don't want to upset the natives of Carlsbad, but the downtown overall is not really remarkable. It lacks personality. I mean, it's okay, but for a city the size of Carlsbad, there's not much to it. And there's not really anything in the way of taller buildings. Almost everything is just one story. Most of them are newer. I mean, even in towns of 5,000, 6,000, you'll go into their city centers and there's 4, 5, 6, 7 story buildings, usually really old, but they're all clustered together and they're almost always interesting to look at. Don't really have that here in Carlsbad. It kind of just looks like this for several blocks in all directions, and that's it. Now the town has, as of 2022, 33,500 people. The micropolitan area, which is what they call their small metro, has 55,400. So, I mean, it's not huge, but it's not real small. That's why the downtown kind of surprised me. Didn't knock me off my socks. But there's a few interesting things to look at down here. I will tell you this, there is only one building in downtown on the National Register, which is pretty unusual for almost all towns in the US. I've been to towns of 1,000 people, and there are 3 or 4 buildings on the National Register. Carlsbad has one in downtown, and that's it. And I'll go to it pretty soon here. Now they have this Cavern Theater here. It was built in 1951. It is not operating as a theater now. The last movie that was shown here was Alien, the one with Sigourney Weaver. I do know that it's been refurbished and they have plans for it. I think it's also used for special, you know, occasions, maybe weddings, that kind of thing. It's a beauty. You guys know I love old theaters. So hopefully, yeah, they'll find some use for it. Anyway, yeah, I'm still in downtown. You're looking at it. You see what I'm talking about? I'm going to head to another area of downtown and show you another building. Another look at downtown. I'm on the other side of the courthouse. Now I will say this, despite there not being really unusual, beautiful looking buildings, the downtown is busy and vibrant. There is foot traffic here. There are not empty buildings. All the storefronts have small businesses, mom and pop style businesses. I haven't seen an empty one yet. That is a sign of a healthy downtown. it's what you like to see. Anyway, I'm going to head up this direction now. I'll tell you more about the town. As I get my notes together, the poverty rate is 14.7. Now that's a little high. U.S. average is 11.6. But the average household income is $79,800, which is good. The national average is just over $78,000. The average home value here is $300,500. So pretty good home values, still below the national average of $428,000. But that just means the cost of living is a little bit lower here. The average age of the people living here is 34.9. So there's all that. Anyway, I want to show you this building right up here. Now the building in the middle frame here is the First National Bank building. You remember me telling you about buildings on the National Register? This is the only one in downtown Carlsbad, the only building on the National Register. It was built in 1890. It was actually the First National Bank of Eddie. That was the original name of this town, named after one of the city's founders. They changed the name later to Carlsbad after a spa in Europe. Anyway, I'm going to head this direction. There is a mural I want to take a look at. So let's go do that right now. Now, I tell you a little bit more about the city. The top industries are oil and energy production. This is a big oil town. It's in the Permian Basin, one of the most oil-rich places on Earth. Mining is big here, specifically potash mining. Potash is a key ingredient in fertilizers, and Carlsbad produces the most potash in the United States. And of course, tourism. Tourism is a big thing here. The area around Carlsbad is astonishingly beautiful. They have a zoo here. It is a small zoo, but it is considered one of the best in the country. It's called the Living Desert Zoo. It primarily focuses on animals and plant life locally, and apparently it's a good solid day to visit that. But of course, the jewel in the tourism crown of Carlsbad is Carlsbad Caverns National Park. And I'm not going to talk too much about that right now, because the wife and I tomorrow will be going there, and it's going to get its own video. I've been there before. It's an incredible place, and I'm going to try to show you everything so you feel like you've been there. All right, a shot of the current Carlsbad City Hall. I like the building. It's interesting. Anyway, I looked up the top employers of Carlsbad. I've had people ask me to supply that information. So here it is. Now in the top 10 are your usual suspects. Hospitals, medical, Walmart, of course, restaurant business. The restaurant with the top number of employees here is Buffalo Wild Wings. That surprised me a little. It's usually McDonald's. Anyway, potash industry, of course, is big. But the number one employer in Carlsbad, New Mexico is something called the WIPP. Now, I had to look that up. I didn't know what it was. It is a waste isolation pilot plant. There are only 3 in the world. The other 2 are in Germany, and it's used to store radioactive waste. It's about 20 miles south of here, the actual place. They transport the waste about 2,100 feet below the ground, the surface, and the intent is for the waste to be there for 10,000 years. So yeah, I found that really interesting. That is the number one employer, Carlsbad, New Mexico. Okay, I am going to drive out of downtown now. You can see there on the right, that is downtown Carlsbad. Most of the city is to the west, the residential. So, let's go take a look at some of the neighborhoods. Okay, so right off the bat, I see this. St. Edward Catholic Church. Beautiful, unique architecture. There's a big truck in the way. I can't really see too much there. It looks like they're doing some work on the building. It's really beautiful though. Anyway, that gets me right into the neighborhood. So we'll just cruise down here and look. Check out that huge, is that a yucca? Somebody can fill in. That's pretty awesome though, isn't it? Yeah, you know you're in the desert when you see that. Look at this huge rock house. Appears to be empty, sadly. That shouldn't be though. A house constructed with rock like that will last forever. You wonder why that's empty. And this looks like maybe the garage for the home. And then you got some more cactus. Pretty cool. Some interesting wood houses here. Now these are, well, I guess these are just really small homes. They're all constructed the same. There's another one back there. Huh. A lot of interesting looking homes on this street. Some of the stucco. I really like this brown one. And then there's a white one right next to it. Get across the street here. Very different from much of the rest of the U.S. Yeah, you see a lot of this in the neighborhoods here. It's pretty representative. It's pretty cool. I like it. Let me see if I can turn around here. The sun's not in the ideal spot, but yeah, I think you can see that. These are really interesting looking homes. All this stucco. Yeah, I like this. Really interesting looking. I am on the northern edge of town. There are neighborhoods here, but I gotta tell you, kind of reminds me of some of the towns in Wyoming. When you hit the edge of town, you are on the edge of town. Look, it's just open country. Nothing for miles and miles in that direction, but desert. That is so amazing to me, living in a place like Dallas, where it just never ends, you know? You never really leave Dallas. It goes for miles and miles and miles. Places like this, yeah, some more of the country. That's it. For a long ways, just desert. The Chihuahuan Desert. I find that fascinating. And anyway, so back into homes, residential I go. So that's going to be the end of this part of the video. I'm going to go grab the wife, Nicole, and we're going to go to a local restaurant and have an early dinner. So that's coming up next. Alright, I've got the wife with me now. We are going to eat at a restaurant that was recommended to us. A local restaurant called yellowbrix. Yeah.
And there are red bricks here.
Yep, yellow bricks. We're told this is a good place, so this is where we're going to have some dinner. All right, we have been sat. We're looking at the menu.
Well, I don't know about the artichoke part, but it's like crab, shrimp, and artichoke dip.
Well, there's that if you want to get it. The place looks like a house, or it used to be a house.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and then they just converted it to a restaurant, which I've eaten at places like that before. No bar here, though.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, we'll just sit at that. I guess we will.
Yeah, we have to sit at a table. We're not used to that. We're bar sitter-atters, right?
Yes, we are. We definitely are.
Well, we have our Jack Daniels. Do you see anything yet? You thinking about the fillet?
Yes, I'm going to have one of the fillets. I'm going to wait and see what the market price is. But I'll have one of the fillets. And I'm guessing probably sauteed veggies. I just have to ask what those are.
Well, I was thinking about chicken fried steak, but I don't know if I trust chicken fried steak in New Mexico. So maybe I'll switch to pork chops. What do you think?
Well, honey, obviously steak is their thing. That's why they don't have any options in any other type.
Not just any place can make chicken fried steak, though. So I think I'm going to do pork chops. Yeah, the restaurant's definitely in a house that they've converted. It's got a real homey feel to it. It's real small, though. It's not a huge place. There's the wifey. Ready for food. There's the kitchen back there. It's not a huge kitchen. Interesting place.
Small restaurant.
Very small, yeah. All right, our food is here. You are having the filet.
I'm having the filet with the mixed veggies. It all looks really, really good. And I actually got some kind of green soup.
And you got a green soup, but you got it to go. And I have pork chops with loaded mashed potatoes. Yeah. And then I have the grilled veggies too. Those are good. Okay, so how was your food, honey?
Really good. In fact, I didn't think I'd get this far into my meal. I'm continuing to eat because it's really good. I love the sauteed veggies. It's so amazing. My steak is cooked well, just like I asked for it, medium rare. Actually, it might be more on the rare side, which is good. I love my steak like not cooked very much. And yeah, just really, really yummy.
Yeah, mine's awesome too. I already ate all my veggies. That's how good they were. Most of the mashed potatoes, and then of course my pork chop. I'll have some left. This vanilla milk stout is fantastic. Never had it before. You can really taste the vanilla, and you can taste the coffee. It is one of the best stouts I've ever had. All right, we're going to have one more drink. That is the county courthouse. I was there earlier. We are going to go to Milton's brewery.
I don't know who Milton is, but he better have a good brewery.
Well, the locals we have talked to say this is the place to come. And that's a cool picture. So this is where we're going to go. Well, they have some beers they make here. Peabody Porter, that's what I'm having. And you're having cider. It is not made here.
Sorry.
Lavender cider. But I'm having the local Peabody Porter.
What do you say? Here he comes. Apparently the Grinch is outside. Look.
Yeah, we've got the bartender. Her kids are here. And the Grinch is coming in.
Oh, we thought he was coming in. So come on in. Come on in.
Oh boy.
He's coming in.
Get a look at the place.
Hi.
Cool. Well, the Grinch is here. All right. Some excitement here in Carlsbad, New Mexico. You are?
Have a hug?
All right. Wild things going on in the brewery.
Be careful,
Milton's
he's gonna steal all
Brewery.
your Christmas presents.
What is this? Lavender cider.
So they say, but I don't see any lavender.
Huh?
So they say, but I don't see any lavender.
What's that taste like?
Cider.
That's not apple. That's interesting taste. It's bizarre.
Bizarre.
Anyway, the place is hopping pretty good. Quite a few people here. It's a good place. Huh?
I haven't even looked behind me in a while.
Yeah? It's a pretty cool place here. All right, everybody, so that's it for this video in the town of Carlsbad, New Mexico. Next video will be Carlsbad Caverns National Park. And yeah, we're going to be pretty thorough. You're going to feel like you've been there. So be looking for that video. It's coming up next.